Hello.
Oh, hey, Scotty. You ready to start working on our last semester before we graduate?
Who are you?
Funny. It's Jake, your director. It's funny.
Are you new?
Scotty, I've been here for over a year.
Oh, I see. So if you're the director who's been here, why the hell didn't we do a holiday special at the end of last semester?
Scotty, you canceled because you're lazy.
Okay, I had an exam. I was not lazy. Believe me, no one likes the holidays as much as I do. I really wanted to get on air and talk about the various celebrities from the various holidays. You know, Jesus, Snoopy, Muhammad Ali, the Prince of Hanukkah,
Scotty,
Brady Hoke.
Just stop what you're saying, okay?
I see. So, what the hell is this?
Oh, that's actually some notes that I compiled about different sports stuff that happened since our last show.
Michigan football lost, the Lions lost, Michigan basketball lost, the Red Wings lost, Carrie Fisher died. Awesome. A lot of great stuff happened.
Well, okay, but it's our job to talk about it. We kind of have to.
Hey, can we talk about Rogue One?
No.
Great movie. Saw it 4 times.
No, we're not talking about Rogue One.
Wait a minute. I don't need to ask you. I'm in charge around here.
There's 4 producers, Scotty. We all hold the same rank over here.
I've been here the longest.
Actually, it's Aaron, but close, I guess.
You want to talk about close?
Oh, no.
How close was J.T. Barrett to being short on that 4th down play? How close were the results of the presidential election for the United States this past season? How close was Clemson to losing the national title game last night? The answer to all those questions is absolutely not. Now, before you sit here and tell me about how close we are to producing pure, practical sports comedy-related content, take a look around, because I reckon there's not a darn thing that I can tell you that these walls can't tell you better.
Scotty, what the f*** are you talking about?
It's part of a new wisdom thing I'm going to be doing here on the show. Just kind of on-air spiels.
You know what? Why don't we just talk about Rogue One instead?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ultimate Sports Show. I'm Scotty.
And I'm Alex Rawlick. Something wrong, Scotty?
No, it's just, you seem less attractive than last semester.
Can't believe you just said that.
Because it's true, right?
No, because people don't say things like that.
I see.
Damn, can we just go to Snaps?
Wait, no, don't go to Snaps. No.
What's happening? What's happening? Hey!
We, there aren't any Snaps this week. We actually have a guest. You know, I just thought, it's our first show of the semester. We're a little disorganized, a little short-staffed. I thought, instead of doing Snaps, it'd be better to have a guest, which is inherently more complicated anyway. What's the problem?
Why don't you tell me that, in like the week before this, I wrote like a bunch of stuff. So like,
well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't tell the directors or anybody else either. So this is going to be an adventure. But I can't help but notice you do not have a single positive thing to say today.
All right, where's the guest? Who is he? What set are we going to use? How are we going to transition into this thing? I mean, we're here at the desk. We're talking. What the hell is going on?
We'll do the Snaps thing again.
This is a grade A cluster.
What's happening? What's happening? Hey!
All right, everybody. As I mentioned, we're not actually doing Snaps today. A very special guest here instead. Good friend of mine, Patrick White, recent Michigan grad. You were actually on the show a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You made a couple of appearances. It's great to have you back.
It's good to be with you.
Yeah, so Patrick's here, and of course, Alex is back. And instead of Snaps, we're going to, talk about some hot topics in Michigan sports. Now, you guys, as I understand, have some differing opinions on some of these things. And we're just going to have a little bit of a form here, just so we can both kind of understand the issues from the different perspectives. So let's jump right into it. First thing, Jabril Peppers. Is he overrated?
He is. He's the most overrated player in the country, and his numbers speak to that. Offensively, he's mediocre. Against Iowa, he had 4 carries for 11 yards. Ohio State, 4 carries for 4 yards. He's a total non-factor. And defensively, he's not much better. He had forced 1 turnover in his career in 27 games. He's not in the top 3 in tackles for loss, sacks, or interceptions on his own team. So how can you say that he's Heisman worthy? He's not even close.
I think that's a fair point. We're not denying that he's a talented guy. I'm sure he's really nice too, except for when he barks at you while he's driving by on the street. Happened on State Street. I don't understand. But I think it is a valid point that maybe he didn't quite live up to the hype. Alex, what do you think?
Actually, I really can't disagree too much with Patrick here, to be real honest. I think if you want to go into a more nuanced conversation, maybe the issues on offense were more to do with play calling and scheme. And if you look at the Iowa game specifically, maybe let's talk about the offensive line and what kind of factor that played. But yeah, numbers don't really lie. Offensively, it was kind of underwhelming for most of the season. And defensively, I think a different way to look at it would be more to focus on, his numbers weren't great, but I think you could make the argument that he's a better player than maybe the numbers indicate due to his athleticism. And if you look at the numbers that the defense as a whole put up, and you look at schematically how that defense was really just based around his athleticism.
Okay, all right. This seems really more rational and one-sided than I was kind of hoping when I wrote the segment. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're probably, not a stout defender of John Beilein either. Are you going to admit that, the basketball program isn't where it should be?
No, it probably isn't, but I don't
Great. Yeah, okay, great. Well, that just ruins the whole f***ing debate, doesn't it? Okay, you got 2 guys who mildly agree with you. Ooh, I got an idea. Okay, what's that kid's name? Ryan. I'm going to regret this, but can we get Ryan out here? I know he will disagree with Patrick. Let's get Ryan out here. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Let's get Ryan out here. All right, everybody, against my better judgment, I have instead brought Ryan on here to debate Patrick because I think they have a little more friction on their ideas. So let's just wrap up with Jabril Peppers. You already kind of went in depth about his numbers and everything. Patrick is not a fan. He thinks he's overrated, too much hype, not enough result. Ryan, from what I understand, you disagree with that.
Yeah, the numbers certainly are less impressive than one would have hoped. I think he's capable of better numbers. But you also have to take into consideration his presence on the field, what effect that has on the game. It affects the other team's entire scheme. They don't want to run near him. They want to keep it away from him. He will decapitate anyone who comes near him. He's just a freak of nature. He is a beast.
And what kind of presence did he have on the field for the Orange Bowl? When he was pretending with an injury and he didn't play?
He was actually injured. You can ask the coaches. The coaches are all vouching for him. He said he was injured. He's not going to go through all that just to fake an injury,
Just like he faked that he wasn't going to go to the NFL.
He didn't say anything regarding that. He said, I haven't made a decision yet, and I'm going to decide. And, he decided. I'm not really sure what more you want. The dude's, I don't see the big deal of getting all personal about it.
It's not personal. It's not personal at all. I'm glad he's gone, and I wish him good riddance in the NFL.
How can you be glad he's gone? You can't find a replacement Jabril Peppers. There's not another person as athletically talented to fill his spot at the moment.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, he's not even in the top 3 in interception, sacks, tackles for loss. So obviously, there's guys on that defense right now that are better than him.
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration that they're not, like I said, they're not going to put the ball near him. They don't want anyone to go.
Yeah, he had some good highlights against Colorado and Rutgers and Michigan State, but where are his numbers at Iowa, at Ohio State? Do you think that maybe he didn't deliver in those instances, and don't you think a Heisman candidate should have a little bit bigger of an impact?
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Jabril Peppers should have won the Heisman. Quite frankly, I thought it should have been Deshaun Watson. I think he was better than Lamar Jackson. I think that whole team was fake at Louisville. But Jabril, the stats were less than impressive at Iowa and against Ohio State, yes. But you still have to understand, a lot of that goes into how the play calling happened. Giving him the ball, I believe it was 3rd down and goal when they gave it to him at Iowa. That's a first down play call. You don't run Wildcat on 3rd and goal. That's
so
ridiculous.
it's someone else's fault.
It's always
His
someone else's
failures
fault.
are someone else's fault.
No,
All right, I think we've about reached the ceiling on the Jabril talk. Quite frankly, I'm glad to stop talking about him too. Let's go on to the other topic I want to talk about. Michigan basketball has been in the since I was a freshman at this university, younger than Ryan is right now. Is it time to put John Beilein on the hot seat? After the great Final Four run, the Elite Eight run, It's been a disaster. Patrick, what are your thoughts?
Definitely. He should be fired for sure. He's horrible. Since the end of 2014, they're 0-4 against Michigan State. They've lost by an average of 13 points a game. They're 19-20 in the Big Ten since they lost to Kentucky in the Elite Eight, and the recruiting is just mediocre. The guys they get, Chapman, Doyle, Dawkins, they're all gone. So I don't see the positives.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Ryan, what do you think? You reacted as if you want to retain John Beilein.
Yeah, one thing is he's the only coach in the past, 3 decades, the Fab Five did happen, 2 decades to take us to a Final Four or to an Elite Eight.
Is that kind of saying, though, you're like, yeah, okay, he's the tallest pile of shit out of the pile of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hang on. Who do you replace him with that will do better? I'm not talking taking a risk with someone. I can't think of anyone that will do better right now without cheating.
19-20 in the Big Ten since the end of 2014. I think there's a lot of guys that could do better than that.
I mean, I'm just looking for names here. If you can find me a name, I'll buy into it. But I just don't think there's anyone on the market right now that's going to perform better than John Beilein.
How about any of the coaches of the teams that have already beat Michigan this year? South Carolina, Maryland.
Are they going to leave though? That's the thing.
NJIT, I hear they got a good ball club
That's
past
right.
couple of years.
I mean,
That's right.
how do you know their coach leaves though? Like you have to be sure you have a coach lined up. It'd be one thing if we had like a Tom Izzo or a Tom Crean, not those two because those two are just bastards. But if we had two coaches lined up,
Put W's on the board.
but I mean, you don't. There is no coach to line up right now. It's just not going to happen.
So that's your only defense.
I mean, if we could find someone better, sure, but
So
we're
then
not
you'd
going
fire
to.
him. So you flip.
If we could find someone better, but we're not
I
going
see.
to. It's hard to find someone better
I
than
see.
John Beilein.
So you've convinced yourself that it's a problem. He is fireable, but we just don't have the means right now. You agree that these are abysmal numbers, especially on offense?
I would not say abysmal. I would say the past couple of years have been really but let's see how this year finishes out. It's been a rough start to the Big Ten. Certainly not promising, but got to see how it plays out. I mean, we could make a run at the tournament, or at least we should make the tournament. If we don't make the tournament, then I will be pretty upset.
You better get used to it because they're not going to make it.
Yeah,
They're gonna lose.
it's becoming a popular mantra around here. There's always next year. So I want to cut it there, guys. I really appreciate you coming on, especially off script like this, to kind of talk about these things. 2 hot topics. Hopefully we've heard the last of Real Peppers, and hopefully John Beilein changes our minds here. Patrick, again, I want to thank you for coming. I just want to point out, pretty upcoming here, you're getting hitched. Got a big wedding coming on. Is that right? Are you
That's
excited?
right. Next Friday.
Do we have an over/under on how long this thing's going to last? Or do we have a spread on who's going to be the boss here? Trick question. It's always the wife.
That is true. That is true.
Do you have any advice for a couple of young kids? As far as I know, your fiance is not super into sports, but you guys find a way around it. We're super into sports. Any tips for us as we're in between projects?
I'm single. I need help, so please fire away.
I just do what the woman tells you to do, and you might be all right. Even then, you probably won't be. But more often than not, you might be all right.
I really appreciate that.
Insightful.
That's the most insightful thing I've heard on this show in a very long time. So again, Patrick, thanks so much for coming. It was great to have you back. Absolute pleasure.
Good to be with you.
Pleasure.
Ryan,
Congrats.
I don't know
Thanks.
why you're still on our roster. But that being said, sorry for the unorthodox snaps. We'll get back to it in the next episode of the Ultimate Sports Show. In the meantime, let's head over to the next segment.
The following is a live declaration from a top high school prospect. We take you there now.
Hi, everyone. I want to welcome you to the live announcement broadcast. My name is Isaiah Beauregard, and I'm the athletic agent for 17-year-old prospective college football player Raji Garrison. Now, Mr. Garrison has agreed to publicly broadcast the decision he makes on which college football team he'll be playing for in the fall. Now, why are we doing this? Money, mostly. Recruiting is an inherently meaningless media grab that undermines the importance and respect of a recruit and his family. But journalists and agents like myself really like money. So to spice things up, we've got representatives from Raji's 3 top schools here to make one final case before he makes his decision. We've got Captain Brown from Navy State University, not to be confused with the United States Naval Academy. Alan Spaghetti from the Gentleman's State University. And of course, Todd from the University of Michigan. Now, let's begin with the Navy.
Thank you, sir. Raji, I'm going to be straight with you. The Navy is your best choice. Not only do you get to be a full-time student athlete, you have to face the rigorous training of a member of the military. Now, we're not a legally standing military. In fact, we're facing a serious lawsuit from the Naval Academy for the very existence of our institution. But before an inevitable bankruptcy, we will be compensating our student athletes for their services. That's right. We are under the jurisdiction of the NCAA, so we pay our players, even though it is wrong on a basic economic level. So there you have it. We imitate a better school, don't understand basic academics, and we aren't a legitimate military. That's why we're called the Spartans. I wish you luck in your decision.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Captain Brown. Now for the Gentleman State University.
May I?
Mr. Alan Spaghetti. Yes, please, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, gentlemen. I apologize for being late as I was caught up holding the door for a lovely young woman as I entered the building. Let's get down to it. At the Gentleman State University, we have a me mentality. I have a very high opinion of myself and a very low opinion of people who are not myself. I've won a lot of arguments on the internet in various forums and comment sections. And in addition to that, I won the very first college football playoff. I went back again this year. It didn't go so well, but hey, I still beat my rival. Needed some help from the Zebras, but I beat them. And in spite of being so successful and impressed with myself, I have this strong urge to be a cancer to society and remind everybody how great I am. I mean, what are they going to say about it? I win everything. Their opinion is invalid. So let me ask you, Mr. Beauregard, do you want to play for an institution where you will be so successful that you can't help but be a horrible person as a result? Now, I'll say our campus in Columbus is absolutely beautiful in the spring and the summer.
Mr. Spaghetti, if you don't mind me stopping you, first of all, Mr. Beauregard is not going to be playing any college football. I don't need your campus in Columbus to turn me into a horrible person. I think just by this event, you can already see that I already exhibit those qualities. But Raji, he's the athlete. He's the one you should be addressing here about this decision. It's a big thing, and it's his decision.
So you are telling me that the only black crew member on this show is playing the character of the athlete? Are you f***ing kidding me? I mean, excuse me for being a gentleman and, not assuming something based on race.
Wow.
You were the one who wrote this segment.
Wow.
We are also hypocrites at the Gentleman State University. Go Bucks!
Wow.
I wish you the best.
Thank you very much. And Todd, the final pitch, please.
Hey, Coach Harbaugh could not make it today. He was a little too busy getting meaningless fines from the NCAA, but he wanted me to send his best regards. He wanted me to remind you that Michigan is a top-tier university academically and athletically and is very prominent in the world. It's just an all-around good catch. So, I guess good luck and go blue.
Wait. Hold up. So does Coach Harbaugh win a lot of national championships?
He's working on it. This was only his second year, so he's building there. We're getting there. I think we're going.
Like, what about the Big Ten championships?
This is a very competitive athletic conference. It's always a tight finish. He's getting there. It's really tough. This year in and year out, most competitive conference. Like it's a tough one.
So, but like, when was the last time Michigan beat Ohio State? Oh wait, I'm sorry, the Gentleman State.
It's been quite some time, but we're getting there. Look, it's just been a really long time.
I see. Well, looks like y'all gonna get some help. Go blue, baby. Let's get it.
Hey, yeah, let's all a round of applause for Raji making this great decision. But well, there you have it, folks. Fans of the other schools, make sure you take to the internet, to social media, to Reddit College Football and Twitter ASAP to criticize Raji's choice. and talk about how awful Michigan football is. I'm going to go cash a big fat check from the network, and I'm going to save this guy's number and call Reggie again in 2.5 years when he's prepared to declare for the NFL draft, because he's going to make a lot of money like I did today.
Actually, I just want to let everybody know that my agent is a very terrible person, and he will never call me ever again. Just letting you know that. But thank you, though. Thanks.
Hooray,
Hooray, sports!